What's up, guys? Welcome. Crypto FUD. Let's jump right into this. All right, so today's going to be a little different. I'm going to be looking at ICP, but I also am going to be bringing up the Bitcoin chart as well. Some things I wanted to just point out. And before you leave, just understand that if you're invested in anything that's involved with crypto, you definitely want to check this out, see how Bitcoin's going. You always want to monitor Bitcoin because that's going to really dictate, for the most part, what's going to happen in the crypto market. That's what my opinion. So let's see here. So first, ICP. ICP right now, Internet Computer Protocol, sitting at around $5.09. If you can see this green line, like I always tell you guys, is the 200-day moving average. We really have recently just respected that line. We keep kind of going slightly, like literally like a percent under it, and we kind of just bounce right off of it. We've done it twice. It's been some good support. Now I have this box right here. Obviously, it's labeled my buy zone. This is where I particularly myself, if we dip into this box, I usually will start buying in. I always dollar cost average in because, like I've told you guys, if you're following the channel, I bought a nice bag, started a nice foundation as far as like just getting a solid bag somewhere when it was down here at like the $3.70, $3.80 mark. So from there on, I don't mind buying in if we dip down here to these where this buy zone is, basically under anywhere under the 200-day moving average. So if you can see, the 200-day moving average is somewhere around $5, and we'll just call it $5.01 pretty much. What I'm looking for is it to dip down in here, and I pretty much will start buying in. Right when it goes under the 200-day, I start buying in. I don't go in and buy like 1,000 at a time, but I will buy in just like a few, like 10. I'll buy 10 real quick, and watch it. And if it dips even more down, I'll buy a few more, kind of thing like that. If we see these big dips like we did before, where it bounced down, and I think it bounced at, the 618, I would buy in, get a nice chunk because I could see that was a good buying opportunity whenever we would have a nice cool off like this. Now, the reason why I brought up Bitcoin, and I'm going to come back to this chart right here. So Bitcoin has been steadily sitting at around 26,800, 27,000. It's been getting rejected at the 27,000 mark, you can pretty much say. If you can see right here, the 200-day moving average, Bitcoin is sitting well above the 200-day moving average, which is awesome. So that's a way for us to really still believe, this bullish narrative is still running. I did mark a few things that I wanted to look at. So a lot of times when Bitcoin is sitting stagnant, it's preparing for a move. It's we don't know obviously if it's going to go down or if it's going to go up. We really don't know. But the way it feels, and I mean, this could be completely a waste of time, and it doesn't, because I'm not putting any emotion into this. I'm saying the way it feels, like the way it just looks, the charts, what they're screaming is that we're going to have somewhere of a downward movement. We're going to retest some levels, is what I think. But at the same time, you can have all the writing on the wall, and this thing will do the complete opposite of what anybody and any TA and whatever the charts are saying, because it doesn't really matter if there's a crazy buy-in or whatever the case may be, some crazy news just pops up that's not foreseen, could drive this thing even higher up. So keep that in mind. But from what we're looking at right here, the tools that we have on hand in front of us, I pointed out a couple similar things that I saw as we were making our way up. We had this nice little drop, which this drop right here, I think it was like about 5%. And you kind of look over here and it looks exactly the same. Like we had this nice little drop. It almost looks identical to where we dropped down, about 5-6% and kind of stayed there for about a week. And then we saw a nice run up, and we made another, an all time high. I mean, not an all time high, but for this, little era that we're in, it made a new, or a local high. We'll put it as, right? Made that local high, kind of sat there for about a week. And then we saw this nice drop right here, which was about a 10% drop. I already mapped everything out, but it actually bounced right at exactly on the 200-day moving average, right? So we dropped down, it bounced, and we saw this nice run up after that, drop. And I will point out as I'm mapping this out, a nice 40% run up. This was obviously within like a week or two. But a lot of times especially with Bitcoin, you'll think that we're going to be going right back down, and this thing will fake you out. If you don't know key levels that it could bounce off, you could be looking at this, not even have this 200-day moving average up, and think we're going to be crashing back down to these lows. Well, this thing bounced right at the 200-day, had that nice 40% run up. And if you can see, we had this nice drop, had this nice run up, and we made a new local high, right? So where I'm basing this off of is we made this local high because remember, we had this nice run up right here. And look, we had this drop again. We had this drop right here. This is the one I'm saying. We had this drop again. Nice little 5% move up. And we kind of started bleeding out a little bit, getting stuck at certain areas, right? Getting stuck at certain areas right here. Stuck at certain areas. And then boom, we saw a 5% drop. I'm sorry, a 10% drop. That 10% drop is this blue line that I have marked right here, which would be about 23,800. It could be anywhere from 23,800 to 24,200, somewhere around this level. And this fib line, 24,300. What I'm thinking, this is just my opinion, and what I see could happen here is this thing could possibly somewhere in the next week or two have a nice little leg down, somewhere where we retest this 24,300, possibly 23,800, which would be a 10% drop, kind of almost like this. I don't think we're going to bounce particularly on this 200-day moving average, because this 200-day moving average would call for a 15% drop. With Bitcoin, that's a very big drop. I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but that's a very, very big drop. If we were to drop down to this 10%, your altcoins would probably see a move down to about 20%, because altcoins obviously have smaller market caps. They're going to be a little bit more volatile. They're going to have a little bit more movement than Bitcoin. Bitcoin, for it to move down 10%, you're talking a lot of money sold off. So with that being said, just pointing this out so you guys could be prepared. Maybe if you have some dry powder on the side. I'm by no means saying sell anything. Like, I'm in for the long run for a lot of these projects. I'm not married to these projects, but especially something like ICP, I'm in for the long run. So right now, I would say, is it a good time to buy in for ICP? Could be, but I'm going to wait, because I also drew the same kind of line. This is a 10%. Remember, alts could possibly get hit a little bit harder. But if we saw a 10% drop with ICP, that would bring us down to about $4.53. That would be on the bottom of my buy zone. Definitely under the 200-day. So that would be a big buy for me right there, because if it goes between that 200-day and we're at the bottom of this buy zone, I'm definitely going to be buying in. So that's pretty much what I'm looking for. Now, this thing could completely do the opposite, and we could have something, like I said, come out. We have the debt ceiling in America. They're basically they've been back and forth as far as Congress and the White House trying to figure out if they're going to increase the debt limit spending. If they are going to increase it, that means they're going to have to print more money. Doesn't mean it's going to be coming out to the people, but that just means that they're going to be printing more money in circulation. I don't know if that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing as far as like for Bitcoin. Most likely it'll be a good thing for Bitcoin, because anything like that, it just makes Bitcoin stronger. It's stronger case because, Bitcoin isn't trying to take out the dollar, but at the same time, people that are invested in Bitcoin are usually trying to take their money or some of their money out of the dollar, because they feel like Bitcoin's a digital gold that's going to really hold value, while the dollar most likely will continue to drop. So with that being said, guys, that's pretty much it. You guys be safe out there. I just wanted to point out, that we might see a 10% drop. And if we do not get scared for your favorite project. Just look at it as an opportunity. Like I said, you got to zoom out. You really do got to zoom out and look at these charts, and where we've came. We were down here, guys, and this was the scary spot when we were down. Bitcoin was all the way down here, and your favorite, coins, tokens, whatever you want to call them, were down in the gutter. A lot of projects have moved up. They're not out of the weeds yet, but we've had nice movement. And if you can see, we're slowly, no matter what, even if we drop down to here, we're slowly moving down. If Bitcoin dropped down to here, it still would be making a higher low. So at the same time, it needs to sometimes do that for the momentum to jump back up. And another thing too, I wanted to say, I forgot to mention. So after this crazy drop, remember it hit 40%. If we do hit this crazy drop and we see something similar to where this is, we're probably talking making some new highs, local highs, somewhere probably at the top of this fib retracement at around 32,000 plus. So, like I said, pain might come, but the gains will follow behind it. So just make sure you guys are, prepared and you have everything ready. So if we do see a drop like that, you guys can maybe jump in a project that you've been watching or add to your bag, and get those nice averages down. Other than that, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I thank you guys so much.